Right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Math Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. Okay. So this is the part 2. So it's a follow-up from the previous video where we talked about the sum of differences of angles. And I will advise you look at the 4th video in this series and where we talked about the different types of sum and differences of angles. And also try to review the previous video where we review the 5 rules on how to solve this kind of questions. Today, we're going to talk about cosine, all right? Some of the differences of angle involving cosine. And you should recall that we talked about that for cosine, cos A plus or minus B is cos A cos B minus plus sine A sine B, meaning that when here is positive, here is going to be negative, and when here is negative, here is going to be what? Positive. So, and also, you are being told now to find the exact value for this, for instance, okay? And you're having this particular question you're told to solve. It's going to follow the same 5 rules you're aware of already. So this is similar to saying it's cos A minus B. Does that make sense? Because this is A, and this can be said to be what? B. And that will give you cos A, cos B. Now, because here is minus, this place is going to be what? Plus sine A and what? Sine B. All right? So we substitute it. That will be cos A, that'll be 5 over 4 pi minus pi over 6 will be equal to cos 5 over 4 pi cos pi over 6 plus sine 5 over 4 pi sine pi over what? 6. And that will give you, cos 5 over 4 pi is going to give you minus root 2 over 2. All right? Cos pi over 6 is going to give you root 3 over 2 plus sine 5 over 4 is going to give you root 2 over 2. And sine pi over 6 is going to give you 1 over what? 2. You open the bracket. Minus root 2 times root 3 will give you minus root 6 divided by 4 plus root 2 times 1 will give you root 2 over what? 4. So that will be answer will be minus root 6 plus root 2 divided by what? 4. And that's the answer for that. So you can see in this case now, I didn't write the values for each of them separately. I just did them all at the same time, all right? So like I said, when you've practiced and you've gotten very conversant and used to the method, you can just solve it straight ahead. All right, let me pick one more example so that we can see how we do. Let's say I said I'll find the exact value. So find the exact value of cos 75 degrees. Okay. Now, because it's an exact value, so I'm going to try to break this down into the special angles. I remember we talked about special angles in the basic trigonometry. That's 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 45 degrees, all right? And all the angles that will be derived from this. So as we know, 75 degrees is the same thing as breaking it down to 45 and 30. So we know that we can break down 75 degrees to be 45 degrees plus 30 degrees, okay? So based on that, I can now say cos 75 degrees will be the same thing as saying cos 45 degrees plus what? 30 degrees. Now I'm back. That is the only difference with what we've been doing. So now this is the same thing as saying that I have cos A plus B, all right? So then I can now say cos A plus B. To recall, I told you cos A plus B is cos A cos B minus sine A sine what? B, okay? So I can now say cos 45 plus 30 will be equal to cos 45 cos 30 minus sine 45, sine what? 30, okay? Now, cos 45 is the same thing as saying root 2 over 2. Cos 30 is the same thing as saying root 3 over 2 minus sine 45 is root 2 over 2, and sine 30 is what? 1 over what? 2, all right? So root 2 times root 3 will give you root 6 over 4, all right? Minus root 2 times 1 will give you root 2 over 4, and this is going to give you root 6 minus root 2 divided by what? 4, all right? Same thing, same method. You just know the special angles, you know how to apply it, and you give you the answer. All right, so that's what we talked about. We talked about cosine rule, and we solved questions on cosine rule. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to solve, the next video is going to be on tan, all right? I think we'll have to, next video should be on tan. We'll talk about sine rule, some of differences of angles involving sine, talk about some of differences of angles involving cosine. I think the next logical one should be what? Tan, all right? So, like I said, if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section, or you can send me an email directly, and I'll respond to you, all right? Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.